Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, aka Stan the Wine Man, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. How do I do that? I taste the wines right here, I analyze them, I grade them, and then it's up to you whether you want to go out and buy them. And sometimes they're not always available. Well, you know what? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. We had a great one here. It was fun to watch the Seahawks beat San Francisco. We had a pretty rowdy bunch watching the game. It was fun. And one of the great things about Thanksgiving, one of the best things about Thanksgiving is the leftovers. And so I have a little, since it's my lunchtime at work, I thought I'd do a little matching up of the leftovers. What wine would you use to wash down those leftovers from Thanksgiving? Well, you might use the same wines that you used Thanksgiving Day. Maybe you have some left over. I'm going to do the Pinot Noir that we had last night. Or you could use some sparkling wines. So we have three wines here that you could use to possibly deal with the leftovers. So let's get started. By the way, what is your favorite side dish of Thanksgiving? Well, I'm not sure if I have a particular favorite. One of my favorite things, one thing I make every year, is fruit salad. I love fruit salad. My mom used to make it. She made the best fruit salad ever. I could never get enough of it. And so I try to make it like she did. I love the stuff. It's just one of my favorites. Don't have any here. Hard to match up fruit salad and wine. But if we're determined, we'll do it anyway, right? You do whatever you need to do. I could throw some on there, actually. There are some wines that will go with it. The first one I'm going to do is a 2012 Alexandria Nicole Shepherd's Mark Estate Grown Horse Heaven Hills, Washington. And this is a blend of Roussanne, Marsanne, and Viognier. And I love this wine as a matchup for any sort of turkey side dishes, whatever. It's just a great bottle of wine. And it's just great to drink by itself, too. And this rolls in at $19. Let's see what we get on the nose. And we're gonna do a little bit of food and wine pairing here. So I get a little bit of pear and apple. Definitely a little, like a peach component coming through. A little bit on the cold side, which, as I've explained to you before, I try to keep them at the temperature when I review a wine, what I believe most of you will drink that wine at. Otherwise, what good does a review do? If I review a white at room temperature, yeah, I'm going to get a lot of great things out of it. It's great for the winemaker, but, a lot of winemakers, and I talked to a few on this, they make their wines knowing that the public will drink them colder. Interesting point. So yeah, it's great to drink whites at room temperature. You get all these great aromatics out of them. You get all this great stuff. Really cool. But most people won't experience that because that's not how they drink wine. Now, could I preach to you from the rooftop? Yeah, you should drink wine at room temperature. I don't know. I don't know if that's what you want to do. It's whatever the consumer wants. And obviously, a lot of people, when they drink white wine, want it to be on the colder side. Get a little melon component. Oh, our cat is making an appearance. Minx was outside. I didn't realize that. There you go. Yeah, very nice aromatics. Let's see what we get on the palate. You know what I like about this wine, and I've always liked about this wine, is it's the richness on the mid-palate. There's no oak. You just get that rich fruit, which Roussanne has that. Roussanne is they use Roussanne a lot in the Rhone Valley. It's part of their the Rhone whites, and it gets a very full flavor on the mid-palate. A lot of peaches, a lot of apricot. So I got one of my favorite, well, I shouldn't say I don't have, one of my favorite side dishes, and my wife's also, are yams. We love them. Put a little brown sugar, butter, nutmeg. Let's see how this matches up with the yams. It's a nice play. There's enough richness to go up against the sweetness of the yams. These aren't too sweet. My wife did them perfectly. See, they complement each other. Now this has a little marson in it also, which dries it out just a little bit at the end. But it's still a nice balance on this wine. I love this wine. I think if you want a white that's interesting, if you're kind of stuck in that Chardonnay rut, you're buying your La Crema, which by the way is 23 bucks in a lot of stores, and you want to try something different but good, go to a blend like Shepherd's Mark from Alexandria Nicole. Excellent wine. I think it's fairly available, maybe not on the East Coast, of course, but if you're over here in Washington State, maybe in Oregon, it's available. And of course, stuffing with its savory element. Some black olives. When I was a kid, do you remember sticking all the black olives on all 5 fingers? Yeah. I always think about that when I eat black olives. Yeah. Actually, that brought out more of the Roussan. The stuffing and the turkey and the black olives actually brought more of that heavier quality of the Roussan out, which I find very interesting. Sweet potatoes brought out the marson, that drier part of the wine. The savory stuffing and turkey and olives, that brought out the Roussan part of the wine. Maybe a little bit of the Viognier with that floral component coming through. Great bottle of wine. I'm going to give this wine, I'm going to go A- on the Alexandria Nicole. It's just an excellent wine. Now, here's the one we opened last night. Believe it or not, I only had a couple wine drinkers in this group with me, and this is a 2008 Domaine Drouhin out of Oregon Pinot Noir, and it is Willamette Valley. It rolls in at $45. So this was an 08. This is one I pulled out of my cellar. And let's see how it's drinking today. It's been open. There isn't a lot left in it. Let's give the glass just a tiny rinse. Drouhin is just an excellent producer. Of course, it's the same family, Drouhin family from Burgundy. They saw the potential of Oregon. They came over there. They said, hey, we're going to plant. They found the perfect spot. They thought they should plant their Pinot Noir vines. And now they make iconic Oregon Pinot Noir. Let's see what we get now. Let's get a little bit of that root beer right off the bat. Dark cherries and just a little bit of a red raspberry component coming through. A little bit of earthy, you get a little bit of that forest floor element coming through. Not a lot, but there's a little bit there. Just a touch of Asian spice, which I really like. I tell you, that Four Graces I tried in one of my last episodes. I think I'm on 141 now, heading to 150. I think 150 should be a bigger episode. Do you? I mean, 150 episodes, that's a lot. That Four Graces just had that, that one stopped me in my tracks. It was just absolutely stunning Pinot Noir for 23 bucks. Crazy. I was hand selling that one like crazy at the store. Really nice intensity on this nose. I like it. I can actually get the sense of acidity on this. Let's see how it does on the palate. Still fairly youthful. The acidity is really strong on this wine. I get almost a cranberry element on the palate. There's definitely, the root beer is definitely there. the cherries, but the cherries are on the red cherry side with a little bit of, like I said, cranberry action coming through. A lot of red flowers. Now, when I had this last night, I was kind of hoping this would flesh out a little bit more. I thought it was a little too acidic for the food. I know I poured my son a glass. He didn't finish it. He's just getting into wine. He's the other wine drinker that was there. And I felt it was acidic. I like it, but you know, that's the danger you have, at least in my opinion, this is just me of course, of going with Pinot Noir with Thanksgiving. The Four Graces would have been much better, had more depth, less of the acidity coming through. It was there, had good structure, but it didn't clash with the meal. But let me give it a whirl with the turkey. With the darker meat turkey, it works. It kind of balances out that the acidity. But let's go with a little turkey and yams. See, as soon as you throw in anything sweet in there. Now I know there's probably somebody out there that don't eat yams. You don't like any of the sweet, you don't like fruit salad, but hey, you know, there's a lot of us that do that. You start throwing in the yams, you start throwing in a little bit of fruit salad, and all of a sudden that acid just takes over. And that's what you're trying to avoid when you're matching up wines with the complicated elements of the turkey meals. You try to avoid that clash that comes through. I mean, this would be fine if you're just eating stuffing, green bean casserole, turkey, you know, those things. This is beautiful. Maybe you should have 2 glasses of Pinot. One here that has a little more fruit, so that when you get to the sweeter side of the dishes, you know, you get that. Now, I know there's a lot of savory in, tons of savory in Thanksgiving, but, you know, you just try to avoid that clash. Great with black olives. I love the Drouhin. I think this is very young. I probably could have kept it in my cellar for another 5 to 10 years. Would have not hurt it at all with that acidity coming through. I'm going to go A- on that one. I think it's a very well-made Pinot Noir. It's just not what I would choose again for Thanksgiving. And you know, that's the thing. When you go Pinot, you always run that risk of not having enough fruit to match up to the, you know, I know it'll match with the savory, but not with the sweet. Now we're going to an interesting wine, and you know, you should always do sparkling. This is $17. It is Fordu Cuvée Rosé Prestige from Valdabian. I'm spitting that out. Valdabiadini, Italy. So it's in that near Veneto area. And this is Pinot Noir Rosé. They call it Pinot Nero. Same difference, same thing. And we were drinking this yesterday. I love this wine. Yeah, crazy. So rosé is a good play with the Thanksgiving. I mean, just, it smells like a bowl full of ripe strawberries. Crazy. With just a little bit of cherry in there. Nice ripe strawberries with a little bit of cherry on the palate. It matches the bouquet perfectly. Good bubbles. They're nice and small. I like this wine. Really, really good flavors. I mean, this is like a rosé that most everybody would probably like, and it's very reasonably priced at $17, $18, excuse me. For a sparkling wine of this quality, that is a very, very good deal. Really delicious. Let's see how it goes with the meal. With the leftovers. I love that about the Thanksgiving meal. Do you do this? Do you blend it? In fact, make a comment. Do you like to kind of blend it all together? I mean, I'll put fruit salad down here and kind of mix it with my sweet potatoes and my stuffing and my turkey and everything. Let's see how this sparkling rosé goes with this. Very nice. Very good match. I think the Alexander and Nicole Shepherd's Mark and the Fordue were the best matches for the leftovers by far. If you're going to go Pinot Noir, which a lot of you do, I know there's a lot of you Pinot Noir guys out there for all the turkey stuff, go for one just a little bit more fruit. Unless everything you have on your plate is savory, then the Drouhin would work perfectly. On the Fordue, I am going to go B+, A- on that one, more on the B+ side. Very good sparkling wine. Killer stuff. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday as we get closer to number 150. But remember, do you mix your Thanksgiving meal all together? Do you like to kind of do it all together? And do you enjoy having wine with your leftovers? Make a comment. Thanks for watching. Cheers. And here's to keeping the snob out of wine.